What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Today I'm going to talk to you about what you see in the title, HCG while on HRT. Okay, you got all those letters in there? Okay. Now, the old school way of using HCG, and this was actually reported, many times by Rich Piana, was using your HCG while you were off cycle, not using it during, using it as part of the post-cycle therapy, the PCT, etc., whatever you want to call it. And as you were coming off of your, whatever you were taking, your testosterone, your hormone replacement, whatever it is, you would start the HCG along with Clomid and Novadex usually, and that basically encourages your body to work. It's a false signal that sends a signal to your brain telling your testicles to work. Your testicles start up. Now, the idea is while you're on the testosterone, your testosterone levels are here, your testicles stop working, so your natural test is down here. So what happens when you go off your HRT or your testosterone therapy, as your levels start to drop from what you were taking, you take the HCG, which brings your natural levels up, so there's no lag time in between that, so you don't lose your gains, okay? It's basically all about gains. It's not really medical or health, it's about gains, right? And then, supposedly, when you come off the HCG, your natural test levels are higher. Now, it does not work like that. For some reason, I don't know why, people think HCG is like a light switch. Like you take a shot of HCG and your body is flipped back on and all of a sudden it miraculously works. That's, well, I'll do my PCT and I'll be fine. Listen, you can go on testosterone for, let's say, like 6 months, right? You come off that, start HCG right away. Let's say you do 8 weeks of HCG, 12 weeks, whatever it is, your body's going to be okay. You're going to feel all right. You won't lose many of your gains. You stop taking that HCG, that's where your lag time happens because this false signal is not going to your brain. Once that false signal is gone, now your testicles literally have to sit there and they wait. They go, what's going on? Is the signal coming back in? I don't understand what's going on. Finally, after time, when the false signal's not be going in from the HCG, your testicles start to recover and start to work again. And sometimes they don't. It depends on the person. Sometimes they don't come back at all. Sometimes it is what it is. But for some reason, people think that HCG is that magical light switch at the end of a cycle that you flip on that helps you keep everything. Nothing could be further from the truth. So Rich Piana, what he used to do is he used to take like 2,500 IUs a day while he was off. And he was a big dude, right? So when he could go off for long periods of time, well, 2,500 IUs of HCG is a lot. And it was boosting his natural test to where he can come off all the drugs that he was taking for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. And you wouldn't see much difference in his physique. It was very cosmetic. But here's the thing. His body never really started up again. Technically, his body was making it, but it was coming from a false signal. It wasn't the actual natural signal coming from the brain telling your testicles to work. So if he had stopped taking the HCG for like 6 months, his body wouldn't all of a sudden just stay the same. It would miraculously start to go backwards. His body composition would change. He would lose muscle, he would gain fat. That's how that worked. Now, being on the Titan Medical Program, they prescribed me HCG with my testosterone therapy as well as Arimidex. Now, a lot of people, Jerry, why the HCG if you're on testosterone? Now, one is the luteinizing hormone, which if your luteinizing hormone is low, which you don't get from injecting testosterone, you have lethargy, you don't recover as much, you fucking tired it's a host of symptoms that you wouldn't necessarily tie into luteinizing hormone. You might tie it into low testosterone levels. It's a very similar kind of feel. But here's the thing. When you raise that up, you feel a lot better. It also raises your estrogen a little bit when on the HCG. So that's why you also have, because of aromatization, right? Because you're boosting your testosterone through the roof from the HCG as well as being on the TRT. The suicide inhibitor, the Arimidex, stops the conversion of testosterone to estrogen. Okay, that's why those three things are in there. So first of all, it makes you feel better. So it's about a health thing and not a bodybuilding thing. This is not a bodybuilding standpoint. This is a health standpoint. Now, my personal opinion after learning more about how this stuff works, which I never really delved much into it, right? I just went with the bro stuff, the bodybuilders at the gym. You do your cycle, you take the HCG, you take fucking 5 weeks off or whatever, then you start over again, right? So I never really delved into medically or health-wise what the HCG could do. And I found out that some of I don't want to say who they are because I don't even know if they want this known, but some people out there's a group of trainees that train under this one guy who everybody fucking kind of knows them. And they're on HCG the whole time. They never come off of it. While they're on cycle, they're on it. They stay on it for a certain period of time after, and I think they come off after that period of time. So it's not PCT, it's like during cycle therapy and PCT together, and then they come off of it and their body seems to work better. And these guys also seem to be bigger, get better gains, and they make steadier gains consistently over time. Instead of going up and down and the body fluctuating, you're shooting the HCG, your levels go up, you stop taking it, the levels drop, next thing you know, your fucking body's trying to adjust. Why? Here's the deal. When you go on testosterone, you're taking testosterone, your natural levels start to decline. Your testicles stop working, your natural levels decline. They decline to the point where basically your body's not working anymore. It's not making any more testosterone. It's all being supplemented from an outside source. So what happens is this thing that's really dormant, your testicles basically, They don't all of a sudden you take that out, it kicks back on. It takes time. There's a huge lag time, right? Here's what's interesting. Once that's, it's like kind of like they have to dust themselves off. Okay, let's kind of put it like that. Like they got cobwebs, they got to dust themselves off. Here's the thing. If you're on the HCG the whole time, your natural test levels are higher, okay? Even while you're on the TRT. Your luteinizing hormone is up, your natural testosterone is higher. And now what happens is you don't get those cobwebs, right? You don't have that delayed thing because your body is still making testosterone all the time. It's not shut off. So what happens is when you take your TRT out, continue your HCG for a little bit, then pull that out, your body has already been making it, although artificially from the signal to your brain, it hasn't shut off how to produce testosterone. So literally, if you decide you want it to come off, your body has a much better chance and less lag time starting again through a medical standpoint if you stayed on the HCG the whole time rather than just only using it for a PCT. This is something that, again, this group of guys, they're big motherfuckers and they progress fast. I wouldn't say faster, but these guys are constantly progressing. And this is something that they have been doing, and it was mentioned to me years ago, and I was just like, that's fucking stupid because it's a PCT thing. I went with the bro thing. These guys were onto something back then because they were using it from a medical standpoint. Now, Dan Duchesne was one of the first guys to come out that told you how to use all this stuff. And there was a couple, Bill Phillips, a couple other people, but they used to actually read the inserts from the different compounds they were taking and what the medical applications were, what the health applications were, how they worked in the human body, not for bodybuilding purposes. And what they would do is learn how they worked and then take them and apply them to bodybuilding purposes, learning what they really were for. Which today it's the opposite. People just take stuff for bodybuilding purposes and they have no idea what these things really do medically and for your health. So I wouldn't say for health, but medically. They don't know how they work medically. They don't know about the pharmacology. They don't know about anything other than, well, how can I get bigger? So part of getting bigger and progressing is not going backwards, right? Going backwards, doing your PCT, and for saying, I don't know why, that little light switch, I think people try to dumb it down, they don't understand. They figure, well, I'll just take my HCG and I'll be fine. Take your HCG after, your TRT or whatever you're taking, and then go off for 3 months off the HCG and watch how much your body changes in that 3 months. Your body didn't miraculously start. It doesn't work that way. But you can keep your body functioning to where when you take it out, if you're taking it through the whole cycle, when you take it out at the end, after you're off the testosterone, your body's not, the levels that you're injecting drop, your body will have a much easier time starting up because it never technically shut down. So hopefully this explains a little bit to you guys. This will help you guys a little bit that there's a lot of bro science out there. There are guys doing this the right way, but here's the thing. They're keeping it as a guarded secret. Literally, these guys are keeping how to use HCG as a guarded secret. They don't really talk about it. They talked about it with me, a couple of them, because I actually know these guys, and they were just telling me what they do, but they didn't tell me why they do it. And I'm not even sure they know why they do it. Only the head trainer guy might know why they're actually doing this, and they don't even fucking realize it. But it took me sitting down and figuring out, once the doctor told me we're going on the HCG with the TRT, why am I doing that? What's the point? Because I was in the bro mindset, the bodybuilder mindset, like, hey, if I'm already taking tests, why do I need to take the HCG? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes perfect sense. Like, the hormones in your body need to be in balance, and the less stress that you can put on your body, and that means dropping injected testosterone out and trying to make your body start itself, the better your body's going to function, the faster your results are going to come, the less gains you're going to lose, and the better off you'll be. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is the blog. It's to think about it logically, bicep, and we are out.